Hi everyone, so here is our next topic. Now I know the do now is still a struggle for some of you. We're going to go back to that in our next class. What I wanted to do was take a day for this lesson and then at our next class kind of do a review of what we're doing today and then the Pascal's triangle stuff, more review on that. Alright, so pause and see if you remember how to do number 1 and 2, expanding. So we need Pascal's triangle. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. All right, so for the 3, right, we start with the one that has a 3. So 1, 3, 3, 1. Right, the second number is a 3. So 1, 3, 3, 1. And then I have my 2x to the highest power, 3, down to 2, down to 1. And then the last one's a 0, so you don't have to put that. And then I have my negative 5, starting at the back, negative 5 to the third, negative 5 squared, negative 5 to the first, and then the 0. All right, so now we're going to simplify. So we have 2x to the third, that's 8x to the third. So we have minus 5 times 3 times 2 squared. So 3 times 5 is 15, times 2 squared, 15 times 4 is 60. X squared. This is 25. 3 times 2 is 6. So over here, this was 3 times 4 times negative 5. So that if you have 6 quarters, you have $150, $150, X, and then negative 5 to the third is minus 125. All right, and then to the 5th, that's the hard one. That's this one. It's because it's longer. I'm going to write it down here. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. X squared to the 5th. X squared to the 4th, x squared to the 3rd, x squared to the 2nd, x squared to the 1st. And then from the back, 2x to the 5th, 2y to the 5th, 2y to the 4th, 2y to the 3rd, 2y squared, 2y to the 1st, and then 2y to the 0. All right, so we have x squared to the 5th, that's x to the 10th. Remember, you multiply. We have 5 and 2 gives us 10. X squared to the 8th is x to the 8th. 2 times 4 is 8. And then y. We have, this is 4, so 4 times 10 is 40. We have x, 2 times 3 is 6. Y squared. This gives us an 8, 8y to the 3rd. So that's 10 times 8 is 80. X to the 4th, y to the 3rd. 2 to the 4th is 16. So 16 times 5 is 80. X squared, y to the 4th. And then 2 to the 5th is 32. And that's the answer. Again, I know this is tricky, so we'll go through this. Notice these numbers, though, because these are going to come up, actually, in our next slide. So keep track of that. All right. So today we're talking about division, right? Division of polynomials. We did a whole lot of multiplying before we did division, because this is the hard one. How could we divide number 1? We'll think of it like x to the 8th over x to the 1st. That's just x plus 3 to the 7th. So that's the easy way to do it. Now look at number 2. How would I do that? X to the 5th. How would I divide this whole polynomial? Now look back at the do now. This is actually x minus 2 to the 5th power. So your answer is x minus 2 to the 4th power. Sadly, though, that doesn't work, right? It's rare that's going to be that nice. So we need another method. And what we're going to be doing today is long division. So let's do a review of long division from elementary school, right? The better you are at old school elementary long division, the better you're going to be at this, because the process is exactly the same. So I take my 8 and I look, 8 doesn't go into 1, but it goes into 8, 14, 8, whoops. Apparently I don't remember long division. It goes in once, 1 times 8 is 8, and we subtract. So 6, 0, 2, 4. 8 goes into 60. Sorry, my brain stopped working. 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. We subtract. 4, 2, 4. 8 goes into 42. 5 times. Multiply. Subtract. 8 goes into 24 3 times. Multiply. Subtract. 7 goes into 23 3 times. We multiply. 7 times 3, and then we subtract. 7 goes into 29 4 times. We multiply. We subtract. 7 goes into 13 once. Multiply. Subtract. 7 goes into 67 9 times. Multiply, subtract. 7 goes into 42 6 times. Multiply, oops, subtract. Twice, subtract. All right, so keep in mind, how do I figure out how many times 8 goes into 14? In my head, I'm dividing them, right? 14 divided by 8 is 1, right? So in my head, I divide like a little bit, a piece of it, divide a piece of it. Then I multiply, right? We multiply 1 times 8 and we get an 8. Then I subtract. And then I repeat. So it's divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract, right? 23 divided by 7 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. Subtract. 7 divided into 29 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. Subtract. So it's divide, multiply, subtract. That's our process for what we're going to be doing with our polynomials. All right, so we're going to do long division, and this process is exactly the same as when we do long division with regular numbers. So let's start by setting it up. So x plus 3 into 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 30x plus 27. You'll notice I clearly made a mistake with this problem before, and that's why that minus 30, I had to write that in. All right, so our first step is to divide, right? The outside number into that first term. So we're going to take that first term that's on the inside and divide by the x. We only really care about the x. So we get 2x squared. So that goes on top. So divide, and then we multiply. But remember, we have parentheses here, so we're going to have to distribute. So 2x to the third plus 6x squared. Then we subtract. So I'm going to change the sign to subtract. Now, I always change the sign of both of them and basically combine down. I think it's easier. And then I'm going to bring everything else down. Now we're going to repeat it. So I have my negative 13, the first term, divide by that x, negative 13x, distribute negative 13x squared minus 39x, change the sign of the inside of the bottom, so that becomes a plus and a plus. My 13's cancel, 9x plus 27, 9x divided by x is 9, distribute, change the sign to subtract, remainder of 0. So this is my answer. All right, so set this one up, and I want you to try to do as much of it as you can by yourself. So x minus 8 is dividing into x to the 4th, 6x to the 3rd, 21x squared, 31x plus 72. All right, so we take our first term inside and divide by the x on the outside. X cubed. So x cubed, distribute, x to the 4th minus 8x cubed. Change the sign. 2x cubed minus 21x squared plus 31x plus 72. 2x cubed now divided by x, so 2x squared. Distribute. And be really careful with these. I literally had to erase this entire thing because I multiplied wrong. I said this was minus 8x, but I forgot to multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. So it's really, really easy to make silly mistakes here. Minus plus. So this becomes negative 5x squared plus 31x plus 72. So negative 5x divided by x, so negative 5x squared, sorry. Distribute, negative 5x squared plus 40x. Change the sign for subtraction. Negative 9x plus 72. So then negative 9x divided by x is negative 9. Distribute, change the sign, and we get a remainder of 0. And that is our answer. All right, so now we're getting a little harder. So this time we have a coefficient in front of the x. So same process, but this time instead of dividing by x every time, we're going to divide by 2x every time. So why don't you pause and see if you can get this right. It's really important that you guys try these on your own because, again, it's so easy to make silly mistakes here. Like, just if you mess up one sign, one number, the entire problem turns into a disaster. Like, you're going to get fractions and craziness. So it's really important that you try these on your own. So my first term on the inside is 3x cubed, and we're dividing by 2x. So that gives me 4x squared. So 4x squared, I distribute. I can divide because 6 divided by 2 is clearly 4. Wow. 3x squared. See how I said it's so easy to make a silly mistake? All right. 6x cubed plus 15x squared. Change the sign and combine down. I get 8x squared plus 42x plus 55. Repeat the process. 8x squared divided by 2x. This time we get 4x. Distribute 8x squared plus 20x. Change the sign for subtraction. 22x plus 55. 22x divided by 2x is 11. 22x plus 55. Minus, minus, remainder of 0. And we're done. All right, pause, try it on your own. All right, so we got 9x to the 4th minus 27x cubed, 20x squared, plus 24x minus 32. And we are dividing by 3x minus 4. So now we're dividing the first term, 9x to the 4th, divided by our x, 3x. So I get 3x to the 3rd. Distribute. 9x to the 4th minus 12x cubed. Change the sign to subtract. Negative 15x, well, that was cubed. I always rewrite the whole thing. You don't have to. I just think it's easier. Divide, and this time I got minus 5x squared minus 15x cubed plus 20x squared. Ooh, look what happens here. Plus, minus. Those both cancel out. So then we just have 24x minus 32. 24x over 3 is 8x. 3x, just kidding, 8. 24x minus 32. So we end up skipping a term. So our final answer is 3x to the third minus 5x squared plus 8. So that does happen sometimes. Okay, so now we're getting a little harder because notice what we're dividing by. We are dividing by not just a linear term, but x to the fourth. So pause and see if you can do this one. This is going to be tricky. 2x to the sixth, 3x to the fifth, 5x to the fourth, 6x squared, 9x minus 15 divided by x to the fourth plus 3. So I've got 2x to the sixth divided by x to the fourth. That is 2x squared. So now notice what I'm going to do here when I distribute. 2x squared times x to the fourth is 2x to the sixth. But then I have 6x squared. I'm going to line this up with the other 6x squared. Line up the common terms. Change the sign to subtract. So these both end up canceling out. So I have 3x to the fifth minus 5x to the fourth plus 9x minus 15. Now I'm dividing 3x to the fifth by x to the fourth. So that gives me 3x. So we got 3x to the, wait, what did I do wrong? Oh no, 3x to the fifth. My pen turned off. And then 3x times x is 9x. And again, stuff's going to, both of those end up canceling out. So this one's a weird one, right? And then the last one, minus 5x to the fourth over x to the fourth is negative 5. So then we distribute negative 5x to the fourth minus 15. And again, the signs change and we have no remainder. All right, number 8, getting a little harder. So now we have a polynomial. Now with these, I would definitely rewrite this in standard form so the x squared goes first. It's just easier that way. All right, so pause and try this one. All right, so we got 4x cubed over x squared. 4x cubed over x squared is 4x. I'm going to do this all in one color. 4x cubed minus 8x squared plus 12x. So make sure to distribute to everything. Now I go through, I'm lying, I'm going to use a different color for subtraction. Change the sign, minus, plus, minus. So negative 3 and 8 is 5x squared minus 7x minus 2. So then we have 5x squared divided by x squared. So that's plus 5. Distribute 5x squared minus 10x plus 15. Change the sign for subtraction. So notice 3x minus 17. Can we divide 3x by x squared? No, we'll start getting weird fractional exponents, stuff like this. So this is my remainder. All right. So when you have a remainder, think of it like 2 into 3 is 1s with 1 left over. So 2 over 3, my brain is not working. 3 over 2 is really 1.5, right? We take the remainder and we put it over what we're dividing by. 3 over 2 is 1.5 is a mixed number. So that's what we're going to do here. So our answer is 4x plus 5 plus our remainder, 3x minus 17, over what we're dividing by. X squared minus 2x plus 3. That is our answer. And don't forget to put a plus here. A lot of kids will leave that off, but it's weird to not put the plus there. All right, same idea. Pause and try it. All right, 3x squared plus 2x minus 5 into 21x to the 4th plus 14x to the 3rd minus 47x squared minus 8x plus 30. 3x squared into 21x to the 4th is 7x squared. Distribute. Ooh, lots of stuff's gonna cancel here. It's a 3 minus 35x squared. Change the sign. Cancels. So this gives me negative 12x squared minus 8x plus 30. So that's minus 4 when we divide. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Negative 12x squared minus 8x plus 20. Change the sign. Plus, minus. So this time my remainder is 10. So then my answer is that 7x squared minus 4 plus 10 over 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. That one looks scary. That one wasn't even that bad. All right, one more. Last one. Try it on your own. X squared minus 2 into x to the 5th plus 3x to the 4th, 4x squared, 2x minus 3. All right, x to the 2nd into x to the 5th is x cubed. That's x to the 5th minus 2x cubed. Ooh, there isn't a 2x cubed, so I'm going to put it over here, minus 2x cubed. I'm going to put it where it belongs. Change the sign. So now I have to bring down my 3x to the 4th. So 3x to the 4th plus 2x cubed. Write it in order. It's just easier that way. All right, and then we get divide, we get 3x squared. So 3x to the 4th minus 6x squared. So I'm going to put that under the squared again. Change the sign. 2x to the 3rd plus 2x squared plus 2x minus 3. 2x cubed divided by x squared is 2x. 2x cubed minus 4x. So I'm going to put that with my x. Change the sign. 2x squared plus 6x minus 3. And then we get a 2 plus 2. 2x squared minus 4. Change the sign, and we're left with 6x plus 1. So that's my remainder. So plus 6x plus 1 over x squared minus 2. Whew. And that is our answer. I know, it's a little crazy, but we can do it. We got it. All right, homework. We'll do one more day of this and Pascal's triangle together, and then we'll go to the next topic. That's supposed to be 28. I forgot to change it. 28, not 35.